in Detroit have been completely abandoned with the exception of a single occupied home. The city of Detroit estimates that it has 78,000 homes and buildings that are abandoned. This is about 1/5 of Detroit's total housing. Half of these buildings are considered dangerous, and of the 78,000, it is estimated that 70,000 need to be torn down. These statistics are a clear representation of the state of Detroit's many neighborhoods plagued by abandoned homes and buildings that are all too frequently used for drug dealing and other various criminal activity. You may drive by these homes and think that they are unsightly and you know that they're not safe, but do you know to what extent? These buildings are a tremendous problem in Detroit, and it demands the help of citizens and local government together to improve the city from both a safety standpoint as well as a community improvement standpoint. Vacant buildings have become havens for trash, stray animals, scrappers, squatters, and criminals. Gus Burns' article, Abandoned Homes Filled to the Brim with Illegally Dumped Tires from Fox News, shows one neighborhood used as a dumping ground for used tires. Night after night, people drive into these neighborhoods and unload truckloads of old tires into abandoned homes and yards. I have a picture here of an abandoned home completely overflowing with tires that's spilling out of the home, and this is happening on a nightly basis, and it's starting to creep into outlying neighborhoods as well. Another issue discussed in Chris Christoph's Bloomberg article, Abandoned Dogs Roam Detroit in Packs as Humans Dwindle, is the fact that as abandoned home numbers increase, as does the number of stray animals in the city. These abandoned homes provide shelter for these packs of strays, and these dogs are often dangerous, and as a result, the number of dog attacks in the city has increased over the years. Abandoned and neglected parts of the city are quickly becoming dumping grounds for the dead. This is happening in abandoned warehouses. One murder case noted in Charlie LaDuff's Detroit News article, Life Goes On, around body found frozen in vacant Detroit warehouse, tells the account of a man found encased in feet of ice in an elevator shaft of an abandoned building. This is also happening in schools. Another story in Gus Burns' MLive article, Decapitated Body Burned Beyond Recognition, Discovered in Abandoned Detroit School, tells of a badly burned, decapitated body found inside the former Ruddiman Junior High School. This is also happening in abandoned neighborhoods. Fox News article, Vacant Detroit Becomes Dumping Ground for the Dead, tells of one account where 2 teens were shot and killed and their decomposing bodies left in a deserted block. Many of these murders go unsolved because of the time it takes for the body to be found. Also, many of these cases have shown that the victim was killed outside of Detroit and then their body dumped inside of the city, specifically because of the convenience of the abandoned homes. Arson is another increasing problem. As the number of vacant buildings increase, as does the number of arson cases. According to NBC News article, Detroit May Let Abandoned Buildings Burn, arson has doubled in 1 year, and that was recorded in 2010. Scrappers are one reason for the spike. These people are going into these abandoned homes and stripping them of all of their materials, including metal piping, which leaves many gas lines exposed and ready to ignite at any moment. The increase in arson is causing huge safety concerns, especially for people who live in these abandoned neighborhoods. Many of these fires go unanswered. According to Fox Detroit article, Detroit has only 12 arson investigators for 5,000 fires annually. Many of these cases go unsolved because of understaffing. Though the outlook may seem bleak, there is so much that can be done to improve Detroit communities plagued by abandoned buildings. Selling safe abandoned homes is one option to eliminate blight from these neighborhoods, but most of these homes cannot be saved and they need to be demolished. According to Nick Carey's Huffington Post article, Detroit blight battle to take down abandoned buildings could be key to bankrupt city's survival. A proposal to city creditors calls for $500 million to be spent on blight removal through 2019, working closely with Detroit Blight Authority. In the same article, Brian Farkas, executive director of the Detroit Blight Authority, says if you address Detroit's blight problem, you make the rest of the city's problems easier to handle. This statement is highly accurate. Many problems stem from blight, and eliminating them also eliminates secondary problems. To review, first we looked at criminal activity as a result of abandoned homes. We then touched on arson as a result of these abandoned buildings. And then finally we discussed what is necessary to eliminate blight and ways in which Detroit can eliminate abandoned buildings. Abandoned buildings are not only an eyesore, but also a source of great amount of crime and various other problems. These buildings need to be removed or sold and improved to improve community overall. Once blight is under control, tackling Detroit's other important issues will become much easier.